Hey guys, today I'm out in Foster City at the Sony offices taking a look at the new Sony Honda Mobility Afeela. This is actually going to be the new brand from Sony Honda Mobility. It's a joint venture between the two companies to make a highly autonomous full electric car. And yes, I did say car. This is not going to be an SUV, so let's take a look and show you around what we have seen here so far. We have a regular back seat, as you'd expect in a sedan, and an actual trunk back here. Let me know what you think of the design. It is certainly a lot sleeker than any of the EVs we've seen from Honda so far. This is going to be on sale for order in 2025, and you'll be able to get deliveries in 2026 if you've pre-ordered one. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you under the hood, under the trunk there. That is closed off at the moment, but you can see lots of LED lighting, and the design looks pretty close to full production. Door handles in the traditional sense. We have a face monitoring camera there. You can also hit the button and have the door power open. Dual charging doors, one on each side of the front, and this really cool LCD right here integrated into the bumper of the vehicle. It's got a lot of different functions. You can see right now it just says Afeela there. You can also see your battery percentage, and it can be adjusted to adapt to the theme of the vehicle. Looks like full LED headlights there as well. Let's go ahead and take a look on the inside. Power door, and of course the coolest thing for modern EVs, a yoke steering wheel, but it's a little bit different because it has a full bottom there rather than just the sides. This does seem to be a little bit more comfortable than some of the other yoke-like steering wheels we've seen before. One thing I really like about this interior is just the attention to detail and the style and the quality. It's very un-Honda. So if you were concerned that the Afeela would feel just sort of like a Honda Accord with some extra screens, don't worry. This definitely feels significantly more premium and more modern. Also, again, really quite close to production ready as far as the fit and finish and the interior design here goes. Big screens, of course, dominate the dashboard, and we have, again, those themes here. So right now you can see that the system is in the Spider-Man theme. Lots of different functions in this software. So let's take a look around here. We have, of course, the full screen navigation system, and you can pinch to zoom, you can also roll it around, and you can change the perspective. So if you'd like more of a 3D perspective, that's kind of cool. Because this vehicle was designed for a high level of autonomy, you can also play video on the screen while you're in motion. It's going to have, in the final production version, a slightly different screen setup, so that way the passenger is the only one that can watch that while the driver is actually driving. But if we, for instance, come over here and we play some of the videos, you can see full streaming here. In addition to video functions, there's also going to be an onboard karaoke function, which is kind of interesting, and lots of downloadable apps and additional customization features. Obviously, all the typical EV things, charging management, things like that, that's all goes on there. Lots of cameras around. So you'll notice that in this little section, there's actually a camera that's monitoring the driver and the passenger. Part of the driver and passenger monitoring system is also right there in the center. And then there's that big LiDAR on the outside, also heads-up display there, which is pretty cool. And one thing that I was kind of curious about, none of these interior components actually feel very Honda. So buttons and switches on the steering wheel, the stalks on the back, the shifters, etc., those are all unique to this vehicle. And they haven't forgotten some physical controls for things like the windshield wipers and the headlights. So if you're interested in a modern feeling vehicle that has some of those features, definitely take a look at this. You can actually also play your PlayStation remotely. They haven't detailed exactly how that's going to work, but basically it's going to connect to your home PlayStation and allow you to PlayStation pick up where you take up where you left off with your controller right from home. Speaking of controller, that's the big volume knob controller and other buttons and settings for that infotainment system. We also have a center storage area that unfortunately is closed off at the moment. Hopping into the back, we of course get more screens back here, and one cool function is that in addition to mapping, we also have all the other various media functions back here, and all three passengers in the vehicle can be watching the same show in synchronous action, so that way everybody gets the same feel. Or of course you could be watching different things and doing different things in the vehicle if you want to as well. The ambient lighting is tied with some of the themes inside, so if for instance you have the Spider-Man theme activated like we're in here now, we get that purple ambient lighting, but it's also very customizable. As far as the design of the vehicle goes, we have kind of a driveline hump right there, just as you'd expect in most EVs. Big air vents there. Reasonable amount of legroom, so it seems. Headroom, that seems just a little bit more limited than I had expected actually back here. There's that big support bar right there, because of course we have this huge sheet of glass in the back. If you're curious about the screens on the side of the dashboard, here's a demonstration model with them active. It's going to be giving us digital side view mirrors, but it is still going to have the physical side view mirrors. Remember that in North America, we can't go just completely digital yet, although in some markets that may be allowed. One thing I was surprised by is the only real piece of Honda that I see in the car is the seat control switches. Those look like they've been borrowed out of an Acura MDX. Back on the outside, we have another facial recognition camera over here. Obviously, all the cameras around are also going to be used for the high levels of autonomy, cameras on the side view mirrors there, and of course, the LiDAR bump right there in the middle. We're actually going to see a decent number of vehicles with LiDAR from the factory coming in 2026. Of course, because the Polestar and the Volvos, they're also going to get factory LiDAR, and the module looks suspiciously similar to the one that we find right here on the vehicle. Be sure and sound off down there in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of the future of Sony Honda and whether or not we should see more vehicles like this. I have to admit, this is quite a lot of screen, but I'm really eager to see what this software is like in person. When we think about car companies out there, Honda is not the first car company I think of when I think of really excellent software designs on the inside, and this really changes that because this is very, very different from any vehicle we've seen in North America so far. The power that we have in the system as far as the computing power, the transitions, even though this is an early prototype vehicle, they're really impressive. Everything is really fast, it's really snappy, and that is definitely not something that we can say about any current Honda product. Why it's not more Honda labeled, that is a little bit more of a surprise, but you know, we'll see what the future holds. Let me know what you think of all that down there in the comment section below, and stay tuned because hopefully we'll be driving one of these over the next, year to 18 months or so.